How's it going, everybody? This is Jose Trujillo. I'm here in my studio working on some stuff, and I'm gonna do a video. Let's do a painting video. Those of you who are interested in this, you may join and have some fun with this. Let's see what this looks like. BEA beautiful. Okay, so there it is. Let's see what this whole thing is about. We're gonna do some flowers. So the trick that I found out anyways to painting is you want to be able to create artwork from a position of not feeling overwhelmed by time. If that makes any sense. Create artwork as if there is no time, as if you have all the time in the world. That is where the true experience comes from. Create as if there is unlimited amount of time. I know this might sound a little bananas to some of you out there, but this has been the most revolutionary thing that I've done in my career. Removing the constraints of time out of my work. Just throw the whole idea of time outside. I know that you're busy. I know that you have things to do. I know you wish you had more time. You're probably married, have children, all kinds of things in your life. Maybe even a physical limitation, an illness or something, or someone close in your home that you have to constantly take care of. Maybe you're running a business, and at the same time, maybe your art is your business. Maybe your artwork is your business, and you're bombarded by all kinds of things about your business except painting. That tends to happen. Regardless of what it is, whatever the thing is, paint as if you have all the time in the world. Paint from that angle. That's where the magic is, by the way. It's a little unspoken secret, unspoken truth. It takes a bit of practice. Then again, it might not, some of you. What it does take is it takes time. Right? It takes time to not worry about time. It looks that way anyways. That's the philosophical aspect of it. It takes time to not worry about time. In reality, that's not it. but it looks that way. Painting from constraints and limitations of time from that area will cause you to pretty much dislike everything you do. Dislike painting, dislike anything that you do touch, because it's contaminated. If it has the idea of time, of lack of time, it's been contaminated. When you're painting and you have all these worries and I have to go do this, I have to take care of this other thing, and on and on and on, your painting has been contaminated. And yes, it is a reality that you have to probably take care of all those things in your life. But if you're thinking about them, you contaminate your painting. And that's why some days you paint so well and some others you paint lousy and you don't like it. That happens to a lot of artists. Some days you paint without the constraints of time. And other days you paint in the constraints of time. Can you do that over there? And so I found out that the whole secret to painting is simply painting. That's the whole secret to it. How interesting is that, huh? The secret to painting is painting. The most difficult thing an artist will learn how to do is not learn how to paint, is learn how to paint at peace. Learning how to paint is the easy part. Learning how to paint in a peaceful state that's the challenging part. And it's only challenging because we have a time restriction in our minds. The restriction of time. Yeah, Daniel's super bored.
I'm not bored.
No?
No,
There's some food there if you want to eat.
I already ate.
Okay. Whatever, cuando estés lista, amiga. Look at this. And that's really what I try to share with other artists when you're gonna paint. Don't let time, the construct of time, come into your mind. If you feel like you don't have enough time, accept the limitation of that. If you have a daytime job, I know some of you have daytime jobs and would love to be a full-time artist. When you're a full-time artist, there's going to be other things that are going to stop you also from creating your artwork all the time. There's always something that's willing to stop you in your mind from doing your work. Accept the limitations that you find yourself in when you work. I do clean it, not all the time, but I do clean it. Thank you so much, Mandy. Appreciate that. What's up, Jay? How's it going, my man? So, this is the kind of stuff that I try to share because it's the kind of stuff that I've had the most hard time with as an artist. So I try to speak about the things that I myself have had the hardest time with. As an artist, the hard part is not really learning how to paint. Although at some point it presents its challenges, but it's not really hard. Practice usually takes care of that. Now, if you know how to paint already, but you feel like you can't do your best work because you don't have time and you feel like you have to rush your work, that's something a lot trickier. And that's what I'm talking about here. Yeah, very cool. And that's the concept of the lack of time. Which is not true. There are restrictions, of course, there are limitations, but there's no such thing as lack of time because it's a construct, it's a mental construct. When you paint, you must paint as if you have all the time in the world. And I know everybody's busy. I know we all think that we're the busiest person in the world. Each one of us thinks that. But everybody's busy. Everybody has families. Everybody has jobs. Everybody takes care of people. Someone out there you have to take care of. Whether it be your siblings or your pops or something is always something broke. I have to go repair the car. On and on and on. Everybody's busy. But when you create artwork, you must act. If you want sanity, and if you want to do really well with art, you must create it from a standpoint of I got all the time in the world. Not I got all the time in the world, I'm going to blow it. But if I blow it, it doesn't matter because I do have all the time in the world. If that makes any sense. That's the liberation. In my opinion, that's the liberation of the artist. Coming to an understanding that you always have time. Any news on the Patreon side? Okay, so we're not going to do it on the Patreon. We're going to do it on the Teachable. And yeah, the news is that it's ready. I haven't launched it yet, but the site is ready. I've been pushing it for the past 3 weeks now. I am thinking that we're gonna have it ready in no more than a week. I've been saying that for the past week. I was like, no more than a week. But some other stuff took my attention, and I hadn't got my attention went away from that. But my attention is back on it. So I do think no more than a week we'll have it ready and running. I'm going to make an announcement so that those little public announcements. And I'm also going to invite other people. I'm going to run some ads and invite people also that have seen my work. And look at this. Yeah, I switched back and forth. I was like, I got to do it on Patreon because but then I figured out how to do it on the Teachable, and it just made sense to just do it there. It works the same way as the Patreon. I had to go and do some learning. I didn't know how to do that, so I had to go and do a little bit of homework. How to make it so that I can upload classes to the same account. Continue to upload classes for forever to the same account. Yeah, I think my school, I guess, my courses are gonna be the most comprehensive and a complete teaching of what not just my method, but my experience as an artist in the past 10 years as a full-time artist. I think it's gonna be really cool because we're gonna dive deep into all sorts of things, not just painting, but the psyche of it. I'm not a psychologist, of course. I'm just gonna be sharing my experiences and what has helped me tackle this thing. Because one thing is to do this every now and then, another thing is to do it all the time. right? It's your supplement, the way that you earn income, and there is levels that you're gonna be jumping if that's the course you're gonna take. I think it was Leonardo DiCaprio who said every time he wanted to get paid more, he had to become a different person, and that is so true. You have to unlearn, more than anything, unlearn things. Really, what messes most people up is not what you learn. It's not what you don't know. It's the fact that we know too much. Most of us have read a lot about painting, or watched a lot of painting videos, or read a lot about marketing or selling artwork. Most of us are filled with a lot of information about that, and ultimately, that's really the biggest problem. It's the excessive amount of information that some of it has been applied, but a lot of it hasn't fully been applied. And so I'm going to touch on all of that stuff. Okay, so this little painting is finished, these little flowers. I'm going to move on to another one. Let's see. Let me read this. What do we say here? What's going on here? Sarah says, I enjoy the Star Wars reference. You must unlearn what you have learned. Yeah. Patty says, I like the Capri quote. Yeah, it's a really good quote. And yeah, the main objective of the stuff that I'm going to be teaching is how to unlearn. I will be teaching new information, of course, but a lot of information that I'm going to go after is a lot of the stuff that I'm going to go after is removal of information, because that's been the most detrimental, the most difficult in artist career. Whether you're doing it as a hobby or you're doing it to monetize, you want to get paid for painting and whatnot. It's all the stuff that you know really that's hurting you the most. Because when we know a lot, something interesting, and we haven't seen really major fruits, but we just know a lot. We see some fruits, but not the ones that we are looking for, right? Whatever that is. Getting paid a certain amount, or exhibits, or whatever it is. It's either that you're in the very beginning stages, or if you're more advanced, it's that your glass is full. So you need to empty out your glass so you can receive the information. Most of the information that we have is really just stopping us. For example, what do I mean by that? If you're an artist, it's not about working too much. It's about, this is what people say, you could just do one painting and sell it for $50,000, and I'm looking for that. I assure you, people that do one painting and sell it for $50,000, they have either done thousands of paintings or thousands and thousands and thousands of hours. Yeah, my wife is listening to Marvin Gaye in the background. So, one thing that we've been sold over and over again is work smart and not hard. And what I've learned is that you need both. You need both. And working smart is working hard, by the way. But working hard not from a desperate position, but a calm position that keeps on cutting. You know, you're like that drop of water. It just keeps on cutting. That is the most effective way of working in my experience than creating little flames, you know, like, oh my God, this weekend I'm going to do so many paintings. And that's understandable if you have a daytime job or if you're busy, or that is understandable. Once you get in a groove, it's better to stay in a groove and figure out what the mental state is. What's the mental state required to stay in a groove where you're just punching every day? You know, you're punching at that, whatever that is. Whether it's trying to get gallery exhibits or painting, creating a large portfolio of art, a large collection, or both, or all of it. To get in a position where you're just punching, and it doesn't feel like you're punching, it feels like you're playing, because you're so accustomed to it. As opposed to constantly tweaking, which is something that a lot of artists do. They go and they try out, oh, I'm going to go try out Etsy, and they tweak and tweak and tweak, and it doesn't work, and then they go try out another website, and they tweak and tweak and tweak, oh, it didn't work, and then they go and try another website, and they spend their whole careers tweaking and trying things out. What I'm going to be teaching is how to get something, and like a dog, getting a bone, grabbing onto it, not letting it go until it submits to you due to your sheer determination of hitting it every single day. And then moving on to the next thing. There's many other avenues where you can sell your work and monetize, but none of it is really available unless you come to a peaceful understanding of the amount of work that it takes. None of it is really available. If it's available, it comes and goes. I've coached many artists where they hold on to it and then it goes. They're like, oh my God, I've been earning. One artist was telling me I've been earning $7,000 a month, but then I'm afraid because sometimes I get $3,000 and then I get $5,000 and then I get $7,000 again, and it's because it goes away because the idea of work is too hard to swallow. Our artists, we have a very difficult, and again, it's because it's been sold to us that really what you need is to become famous and sell one painting, and that's all you need to do. Make one painting a week, or one painting a month, or one painting a year, and that's all you really need to do, and you're set. And that, maybe someone lives that life. I sure as hell don't. And most of the artists that I know that have reached any sort of success, whether it's in their career or monetary, they're some of the most hardest working people I've ever met. And they don't do those rules. It's not just about determination, because I know probably everybody watching this has it. It's not just about because we've all been determined enough to get something in our lives. It's not just about determination. It's about coming to peace with what you're doing, where you're not fighting it. A lot of artists fight it, and so it becomes a negative journey. Comes with a very sour experience because they keep fighting it. Whether you go slow or you go fast, if you keep going, you get there. It's what Andy Warhol said. That's one of his quotes. Whether you go fast or you go slow, if you keep going, you will get there. That is probably the most truthful thing I've heard about being an artist. You just need to keep moving. If more artists understood this, you just need to keep moving. I will say it again. You just need to keep moving. Don't worry about moving fast or moving slow. Just don't stop. That's the whole thing. I could not say it any other way because I think it would mess it up. You just gotta keep moving. And the reason I say this is because artists, we're used to moving, and then we stop and we start fidgeting with it. We start playing with it, and we stop that, and then we start another activity and we start playing with that, and then we stop that activity and then we move on to another one. But you don't really keep moving with the same activity. The power is in continuing to move in the same activity. And then that's why Bruce Lee said, this is such a boy thing to say, right? I have to bring Bruce Lee into the equation here, but I think that's why Bruce Lee said that he wasn't afraid of someone who knew many types of punching and kicking and whatnot. He said he was afraid of I think this is exactly what he said. It might not be exactly like that, but he said he was afraid of the person who knew only one kick but had practiced it 10,000 times or something like that. You know, it's like boxers when they say, "Oh man, yeah, that's a great boxer," or "That's a bad boxer," but if he ever touches you with that right hook, you're gone. Right? Because the right hook or whatever, the jab or whatever, it's their signature punch. You know, if you get close enough and he hits you with that, you're a gunner because that's what he's been practicing his whole life. Oh, thank you, Jay. And the reason for that is because you stay with something long enough, you're gonna break it. You know, you're gonna pierce through it. And so many of us as artists, we're used to not staying with it. And it's a huge psychological game because art is not like sports or other things. It doesn't really show you a return right away. Yeah, sometimes it does, but it doesn't really. What happens is that art shows you a return. Like an investment. You know, it's like putting that penny that doubles and doubles and doubles. It shows you the return only when you put the time over and over again. And many artists are suckered into thinking that the return is because they did something clever And what I'm trying to teach here is it's not because you did something clever, it's because you stayed with it and you kept punching it. That's why. And then it looks like something clever happened. Oh my God, I did this, or I sold that painting, or whatever. But it's none of that. It's because you punched it. And while someone else was sleeping, you were still punching it. While someone else was having artist block, you kept punching it slowly. Not you weren't desperate, no, slowly, and you kept punching it. I see so many artists who go through that. I went through that. And that all comes from not wanting to do the work, because doing the work is not difficult. It's mentally exhausting. It becomes mentally exhausting. The work itself is not difficult. Everybody knows that. It's all the stuff of, oh my God, are they gonna like this? Is this good enough? Maybe I should try something else. Oh my God, maybe I should paint a little faster. Maybe I should paint a little slower. Oh my God, what is it? And you're doing all of this stuff, and I assure you, I'm sharing with you something here that, my God, it took my entire career to learn. Don't worry about any of that. Just keep going at it. Slow, fast, whatever. Just don't stop. That's the reality of it. The reality is, it's not your subject matter. It's not the way you paint. It's not your frames. None of that. All of that is bullshit. The reality is that you just keep moving. Compound interest, yeah. So there it is, my friends. Again, my name is Jose Trujillo. I'm an artist. I hope that this was a little bit valuable for some of you out there. Hope you take this and use it and abuse it, whatever you got out of this. Maybe it was just a reminder. I'm pretty sure it was just a reminder. Most of you, or all of you, know this. But I assure you that that's the door. Just keep kicking it. Keep punching it. Slowly. You don't have to do it fast. Slowly. One punch at a time. Just don't stop the punching. The moment that you stop it, that's when you start having those ups and downs, those mental ups and downs. Oh my God, I was doing so well last week and I fucked up this week. Oh my God. Those are all ups and downs because of your mind, not because of your labor. Those are created by your mind. Yeah, time invested consistently beats talent when talent doesn't invest time. Absolutely. So even when the problem with people with talent is that they believe they can show up whenever they feel like it. And that's why so many talented artists are never able to really create collections of artwork, or they're never really able to be happy with their work, or they're satisfied, or not get paid for their work, because they don't show up. They do show up, but they show up whenever they want to. Thank you so much, Patty. Thank you. Appreciate it. Okay, guys, stay tuned, because I will be announcing this week our monthly subscription for the art classes. You're gonna get all everything that I've learned. We're gonna start dumping it in there. Okay, we're gonna start putting videos, 2 videos a month, and I have some videos already prepared for you guys. And yeah, just everything that I've learned. I'll tell you guys more about it during the week. And I'm not gonna leave anything outside. Okay, I'm not gonna try to hide some stuff, or no. Everything is gonna be shown. We're gonna talk about everything. Whether you're trying to sell on eBay the way that I do, I've earned hundreds of thousands of dollars a year selling on eBay. At this point, I've earned millions of bucks now. And I've sold to interior designers. Absolutely. Let me screen grab that email. I'll make sure to email you, Patty. I easily sell over $200,000 a year just in commissions, and one of my strategies of commissions, just applying one of my strategies. And I don't say this it doesn't mean anything. Okay, I'm just a guy who's just shows up and works and I just try to take care of my family. But I'm doing something that works, and some of the stuff that I've been doing works, and I recorded it, and now I'm going to start teaching it. So for those of you who are interested, it's going to be available for, I mean, pennies. You know, it's going to be $20 a month. So if that means anything to you guys, learning everything that I've learned. On eBay alone, I mean, this is me now. When I started selling over 100K on eBay a year. I sell a lot more than that, guys, now. That's just eBay. I have other places that I sell combined that I make much more than what I make on eBay. And I'm going to share it with you guys. Those of you who are interested, I'm going to be sharing all of that. Well, and then those of you who don't want to learn that, that's awesome. You're going to get to pick and choose what you want to learn. There's going to be videos how I paint this from my palette, how I mix the colors, and the whole thing. How I do drawings, how I do charcoal drawings, how I do watercolors, and most importantly, how to do it in a state that you're constantly at bliss. You have constant bliss, and it's a practice, but you get to it. It's everybody can get to it because everybody has it in them. You know, some of you are already creating art in bliss. Maybe when you start selling it, that bliss might go away, and I'll show you. I'll teach you how to get it back. It happens often when people start monetizing. The bliss kind of goes out the window because they start thinking about numbers, and you have to go get it back. Yeah, art lessons, absolutely. It's gonna be art lessons, framing paintings, how to buy wholesale so that you can sell, so you can upsell your frames. I mean, I'm gonna teach you my entire method, the whole thing, and I'm gonna keep giving support. I'm gonna do one video, at least one. I know me. I'll do more than that, but I'm gonna promise you 2 new videos a month, and one live video just for you guys, just for the people in. It's gonna be $20 a month. Some of those videos that I have already created and I've already sold, some of those videos are $300. Okay, and you're not gonna pay $300. You're gonna get them all for $20 a month. People have paid me. A lot of people have paid me $300 for simply for a video on how to get an audience on Facebook. Some of you might not know how to do that. I know how to do that. I'm not talking about boosting ads or anything like that. No, how to actually get an audience that follows you around on Facebook and a fan page, on a Facebook fan page. A lot of my sales come from Facebook. A lot of my sales come from Instagram also, even though I don't have a lot of followers. You don't need a lot of followers. I've explained this a lot. I made a $50 video that is going to be available for you in the $20 monthly subscription. This is a $49 video where I show exactly how I'm able to sell thousands of dollars a month using Instagram. And I know it comes from Instagram because I get the DMs. People talk to me. People tell me, hey, I want to buy this painting. Or I ask people when they ask me for a commission, where did you see me? Instagram. Where did you find me? Instagram. So I take note of that. I mean, it might not seem like it, guys, but I'm a very organized guy when it comes to my business. And so I keep that very organized. And so I know where the sales come from, and I record all of that so that I'm able to teach it. Okay, so thank you so much, guys. I know not everybody wants to learn how to sell, but that is a topic that a lot of people have asked me. But I will be teaching a lot more than just selling. It's going to be painting. It's going to be drawing. It's going to be exhibits, how to hang your own, how to create your own exhibit, how to hang your own exhibit, how to make a winner exhibit. A lot of people don't know anything about that. I mean, I don't know if COVID is going away, but anytime soon, but exhibits are going to start popping up very soon. I don't think it's going to be that long. And people are going to start having exhibits again. I know a killer formula of getting exhibits, like not just getting them, making them win. One thing is having an exhibit, another thing is actually getting paid. And Yeah. Well, I'm going to be teaching you everything that I know. So, there it is, my friends. Take care. I'll talk to you soon. And by the way, this painting is going to be available on my eBay shop, and I'm going to start the auction at 99 cents. Thank you so much. Take care. Adios.